Sharpness has a voice, and blur also has a voice. Sharpness is a Bourgeois concept. There's a very good chance your great photography equipment is outperforming your artistic intent. There is nothing worse than a sharp image of a fuzzy concept. These are not my words. These are the words of Ansel Adams, one of the greatest photographers who ever lived and an absolute master of technical perfection. So I have a question for you as a photographer. Are you perhaps suffering from what I would call clinical perfection in your photography? I mean, is there a chance, even an outside chance, that your photography equipment and technical appreciation of the medium is outperforming your creative intent? And if the answer to this question is even a maybe, or even if you just hesitated slightly before you said no, then I believe it is worth listening to this discussion. Because what I'm going to talk about today is going to challenge the norms of some deeply held practices in photography. And I am expecting the comments on this video to be very interesting, as it opens up a conversation that many photographers usually don't like having. But I think it's a discussion that we should have. Before I get into it, I have a full transcript available along with a visual intention checklist. If you find value in what I'm about to say, I'll show you how you can get a copy at the end of the video. So let's get started. So does this sound familiar? You've saved up your money and you are heading off to your local camera shop. You're excited, you're about to upgrade your equipment again. You have high hopes that the equipment you're about to buy will do wonders for your photography. Maybe you're even a loyal, devout follower of a certain camera brand, and you will defend that camera brand until the death. You stand at the counter. The salesman is equally as excited as you are. He's telling you that you are going to improve with this purchase as they eagerly take your credit card to make the sale. So, latest camera, newest technology, your expectations as you head home with this new camera are just so high. You feel like your photography, or the desire for continuing with photography, has just been refreshed. I mean, there is nothing better than the smell of a new camera as you unpack the box. But there is something that possibly, in the quietness of your own heart, you don't want to admit. Deep down inside, that 2 o'clock in the morning wake-up call that reminds us that we've actually done this before and very little had changed in our photography. But in any case, you go out on your first shoot with the camera. You take photographs. You are quite happy with what you are getting. The camera feels good in your hands. Initially, because of what I would call emotional attachment, the fact that you're shooting on a new camera, the fact that the wind is blowing through your hair, the fact that you have an experience when you're actually shooting the pictures makes this all very special. The photographs that you take with the new equipment just feel much better to you. At least that's good, because you can justify the amount of money you spent. You can tell others around you that it was definitely worth it. But later, weeks later, months later, I mean, in my case, even years later, once the emotion has died down, we actually start to see the photographs for what they're worth. The veil, the emotional attachment veil, now starts to fade. I mean, they are good photographs, but they're just not outstanding. And it seems as if others around us are not connecting with our photography like we would want them to. I mean, we show the photographs to friends and family and even fellow photographers, or we even put them in at photographic clubs to be judged. And not only the judges, but our family and friends agree they are nice. But as I've said to you before on this channel, in high-end photography, nice is a death sentence. So we get frustrated, and then it gets even worse. We get to see other photographs that were taken in the same places that we photographed, and they are extraordinary. And again, we get trapped into this whole emphasis on equipment. I mean, what equipment did that photographer use? And so this whole vicious circle keeps going round and round. In the world of photography, a photograph that feels average is simply not good enough. I mean, let's be honest. You probably know what you're doing. You've mastered exposure. You know the exposure triangle properly and how to work with your light meter. You understand underexposure, overexposure. You understand the sweet spot on a lens. You can shoot razor sharp images from corner to corner. You can even identify qualities in light, like your hard light and soft light and diffuse light. You feel satisfied with your technical ability, and you are still loving your new camera gear. But again, in the quietness of your heart, you know that that satisfaction comes more from a technical approach or a technical ability. I mean, you can tick the boxes for sure. I mean, sharp, yes, tick. Resolution, yes, tick. Color, yes, tick. And we just, like I said earlier, find ourselves going round and round as we hide behind the emotional curtain, and we hide there for far too long. You say, Martin, how do you know this could possibly be me? Well, it's because I have been there. You see, in the early days of my photography, I would enter competitions with high hopes, only to find myself really upset with the judges' marks and comments. It really confused me. I found myself saying that the judges just haven't given me the credit for what I've taken. Yes, they acknowledge my technical proficiency, but I'm not seeing them actually giving me what I deserve. They often acknowledge it, yes, but they never gave me the credit that I believed I deserved. But here is the hard truth. Looking back, when I go and look at some of those photographs that I had taken in the early years, there was very little artistic endeavor. In fact, there was very little boldness and there was very little creative intent. Rather, the emphasis was so on the technical challenge. It was so well rehearsed that it was almost instinctive. I remember being influenced by the philosophy of Alfred Stieglitz, who put it this way. He said that there is a reality so subtle that it became even more powerful than reality itself. And that is precisely what I was missing. It was that subtlety, that soul of the picture. My photographs were technically correct and nice to look at, but lacked creative depth. I mean, I once overheard a fellow lecturer, and I've mentioned this on this channel before, a photographer I deeply respected, saying he would always recognize Martin's work. Why? Because it was technically perfect. And that was my wake-up call. I was a predictable photographer and I didn't know it. I mean, let's look at Ansel Adams again, the man who invented the zone system, an absolute darkroom genius, a man of extraordinary precision. And then he goes and says what I said to you in the beginning of this video. There is nothing worse than a sharp image of a fuzzy concept. I mean, just let that sit with you for a moment. I don't think he meant a fuzzy concept to be something bad. I think he meant a concept that was artistically different. I mean, here the master of technical photography himself is telling you, if you shoot sharp without concept, it's worthless. So then we start to get defensive. I did. We start to tell the world, I don't really care. I just photograph for myself. I mean, what do judges know in any case? And then we start to hide behind this. I mean, if this is you, there's a very good chance your great photography equipment is outperforming your artistic intent. And if you're honest enough to admit it, which is not easy, I know, then this conversation, I am sure, is going to help you. Now, there are many things that we need to address in our photography to fix this scenario. But to be fair, this sort of discussion does require time, and it does require a classroom. But there's one specific area I'd like to hone in on today, and one that is very often overlooked, and that is simply how we work with sharpness, and how the balance between focus and out of focus and intentional blur will either open up your photography, or if we don't use it correctly, it could become the ceiling that stops you from going forward. But let me explain it this way. Every day, I see two different types of visitors who come into my gallery on the opposite sides of the scale. I see the art lover on the one side, and I see the photographer who comes in on the other. And if the art lover connects with a photograph, they normally take a few steps back, and then they start to discuss the emotion and the tension. They start to talk about how it makes them feel, and they start to ask questions about the photographer and the photographer's intent. But they do not ask about what equipment was used to photograph it. And then the other visitor, the technically obsessed photographer, I mean, they don't take a step back. No, they take a few steps forward. They are normally attracted to larger pieces. They take out their reading glasses, and then they get their noses right up to the glass in the frame. They're not looking for the art. They're looking for pixels. They are obsessed with what I would call photostatic reality. They are checking for technical ability. And very often they will say something like, "So Martin, what camera was used here?" And my answer is always the same. And I know it sounds a bit facetious, but I think it's the best answer I can give. I say to them, one that works. And then they push back a bit and they say, no, that's not what I'm asking. What brand? Is it Nikon? Is it Canon? Is it Fuji? Is it Sony? What lens was used? Was it a zoom lens? Was it a prime lens? Or they'll even ask what aperture was used. And again, I'll look at them and say, does it really matter? You see, Peter Adams put it beautifully when he said, great photography is about depth of feeling, not about depth of field. I believe what he was saying here is that the depth of what you are feeling far outweighs your technical ability. Yes, granted, it's important to know how your equipment works. I mean, nobody can deny that. It's fundamental to understand how to work with your camera and understand the photographic system. But devoting too much attention to technical decisions can certainly blanket your creativity. And if we go back to Ansel Adams, I mean, he also said the single most important component in a camera is the 12 inches behind it. And he's talking about you and me, our minds, our vision, and our intention. You see, later on in my career, and for many years, I was invited to judge photography, so photographic competitions, photographic clubs and societies, etc. But I don't judge anymore. I feel like I don't want to be the gatekeeper in the traditional world of photography. Let me explain. I mean, a photograph comes up and there's a number of judges now. And very often, one of the judges would say something like, before we start, please can we zoom in so that I can just check the sharpness? As if sharpness is the foundation of all imaging. And I can tell you now it's not. I mean, I would rather not judge at all. Today I would rather mentor somebody in their own creativity and artistic vision. And I'm not alone on this. The great Henri Cartier-Bresson, one of my all-time heroes, once said to fellow photographer Helmut Newton, another iconic photographer, he was busy photographing Helmut Newton for Vanity Fair, And Bresson at the time was 90 years old, and Newton remarked on a bit of camera shake, and Bresson said to him, "Sharpness is a Bourgeois concept." What he was saying is sharpness as a status symbol, not as a creative virtue. It's basically bragging and pursuing technical polish to look accomplished instead of capturing the moment that actually makes a photograph matter. Now, I want to be very clear here. There is a difference between technically unsharp pictures, where the unsharpness was created by error, so it could be camera shake or missed focus. Those are outright errors. They are not an artistic act. But I'm here to defend the photographic artist who uses sharpness and softness as tools to tell a story. You see, sharpness in itself is a double-edged sword. It can be your greatest ally in holding the viewer's attention captive, because the human eye is naturally attracted to certain areas of a picture, and one of them is sharpness. So the human eye can be attracted to the sharpest area of a photograph and naturally then glosses over out of focus areas. But on the other hand, that very sharpness, that sharp edge, if used too often in the composition, it can slice through your creativity like a hot knife through butter. It's like pouring a cocktail and putting in far too much lemon concentrate. When you taste it, it's jolting, actually quite revolting, but a small squeeze, just a twist of lemon, could make that cocktail taste incredible. It could be memorable. You see, there's a difference between what I would call visual indigestion and a selective creative intention when using focus, clarity, and blur. Let me give you another example. When you sit down with a loved one, let's say your great-grandmother or great-grandfather, and you're sitting and having a conversation, do you look them in the eyes and listen to them? Or are you distracted by looking at every blemish, pore, or strand of gray hair that is out of place? Or are you rather concerned about genuine engagement, the feeling, the emotion, the wisdom throughout the discussion? You see, the technical photographer will hone in on the blemishes. The artistic photographer remembers the conversation. I mean, think of our biology as humans. We as humans have what is known as foveal vision. I've covered this in more detail in a separate video, and I'll put the link in below for you. We have what I call Superman syndrome, a super fast autofocus system drawn towards one point at a time. That point comes into immediate sharp focus, and the rest of the world around it, or the rest of the world around that point rather, dissipates into a gradual blur. But the moment we pick up a camera and a lens, it has enormous power to record everything in high focus all at once. The lens produces multiple sharp focal points spread across the picture. In most cases, visual digestion, if you like, on a plate. And if you are not aware of this, you have lost the battle before you started. Why? Because you're confusing the very person you're photographing for, the viewer. You are delivering an image that your human viewer is uncomfortable with because it's distracting. Sharpness without intent is dangerous. So let me offer you some practical advice. Hopefully this will help. The next time you're out photographing and looking through the viewfinder or on live view, I want you to make a conscious choice. Stop yourself for a moment and force your eye to move across every single corner of the composition before you take the photograph. Ask yourself, should this element be there? Where do I want to lead the viewer's eye? Where do I want the viewer's eye to rest? You know, when I'm teaching this at basic level, composition at basic level. I often say to my students, if you cannot touch it, don't take it. In other words, start your composition close up. So either walk in closer or zoom in closer, and then earn the right to move back. So as you either walk back or zoom back, you start to allow more components to come into your composition. And every time you add more information, ask yourself, do I really need it? Because remember, half the battle is mystery, not trying to tell the whole story. Very often, great composition comes from what you choose to leave out, rather than what you choose to put in. I also find it helps to step back a little bit from your photograph, especially if you're photographing on live view and your camera's on a tripod and you've got the time. Step back at a distance and try to look at your composition as an overall composition and not allow your eye to go to selective points. And then again, ask yourself, and this really helps me, ask yourself, what would this composition look like if I printed it, framed it, put it on a wall for display? What would the viewer's experience be like? Deliberate, decisive composition will always outperform sporadic shooting. What I'm talking about here is the photographer who takes thousands and thousands of frames, thousands of pictures, and then goes home and hopes to find one of them that works. And this takes me back to Ansel Adams, where he clearly said, you do not take a photograph, you make a photograph. I mean, we as photographers, we are not the machine. We don't need to diagnose the technical settings and then once everything is being diagnosed and dialed in, we simply press the button. You are an artist. You're an artist behind the camera. You are making a deliberate choice about what you want to present to the viewer and, more importantly, how they will feel. Now, let me be completely clear. When it comes down to the fine art of photography, I'm not advocating that bad photography here is good for fine art. And the reason I'm saying that is when I was giving this talk one day, somebody said to me, so in other words, Martin, I can just take a whole lot of bad pictures and then present them as fine art. No, intent is everything. It is about your ability to conceptualize an idea and then bring it to life. So how do we actually apply this in practice? It seems like something so simple, but how do we apply it in practice? Well, I've broken it down into 4 disciplines that I use to manage the visual weight of focus and sharpness, clarity, lens blur, and movement. And I hope this will help you. Discipline number 1, corner-to-corner sharpness, a reproduction of reality itself. I mean, this is where most photographers start and unfortunately end their journey. It is with this one. Many follow basic rules here, like the rule of F16, especially for outdoor landscape photography, where the depth of focus is a priority, or the quote from Ouija, the photographer who coined the phrase F8 and just be there. These are valid in the right circumstances, yes, I agree, but they're not the be-all and end-all of photography. They're just the start. The second discipline is selective focus. We use shallow depth of field to lead the viewer's eye away from distractions and towards the center of interest. What could I call it? The hierarchy approach. What is important here is that we keep an area sharp and then we soften off the rest. I mean, if you're struggling with the concept of selected focus, then there's a great exercise you can do. So here's the challenge. I want you to shoot on a wide open aperture with a 50mm lens for a month. Don't use a wide angle lens, it offers too much depth, or a telephoto lens because it compresses too much and it offers too little depth. A 50mm standard lens is perfect for this exercise. You'll be forced to shoot with intentional sharpness and a natural fall off of softness. You'll start to make conscious choices instead of defaulting to technical safety. And then discipline number 3, Here we're talking about intentional camera movement or complete out of focus photography. This strips away all the hard edges and renders the picture in a dreamlike, abstract, impressionistic way, moving from the clinical into the ethereal. Shooting sharp and crisp is like being in an operating theater. Shooting this way is like viewing the outside world through a window on a rainy day. And then discipline number 4, and you probably wouldn't have guessed this one, it's post-processing and developing. This is where you can refine the narrative. The digital darkroom is the other side of photography, and it should be encouraged. This is really there if you are battling to bring certain aspects through in your photography. You know there's certain things you can do in the processing. But also remember there's a big difference between processing and editing. Processing is developing the raw file, the data itself. Editing is working with the actual pixels, the image that gets generated out of that data once it's been processed. These are two different stages, and very often different software is needed here to be able to either process or edit. I mean, this is a discussion for another day. I mean, let me know in the comments if you'd like me to go deeper into raw files versus pixel files. But back to our conversation today. You see, sharpness has a voice, and blur also has a voice. When you have multiple focus points in the same picture, it becomes busy. You're saying to your viewer, concentrate here. And by the way, concentrate here. And when you're done there, come across here and concentrate here. And you've lost the narrative before your viewer has even had a chance to feel anything. But when you start to introduce blur, you're saying to the viewer, take a rest, or move past this, or keep on going. I have a surprise for you. The eye naturally drifts across the out of focus areas towards the sharpened areas. In my opinion, when you look at some of the true masterpieces in photography, you often find that they're made up of a combination of both. Sharp means look. Soft means rest. And let me also be clear here, there are times when you want sharpness across your entire composition, and there's times when you want complete out of focus without any sharpness. You know, when my daughter Samantha Lee and I teach at our art retreats, it becomes quite obvious who is struggling with this concept. I mean, some photographers really battle to let go of edge-to-edge sharpness and technical proficiency. Once they understand how sharpness and blur can work together to start telling stories, and how you can lead the viewer's eye to where you want it to go, and how you can deliver that story, then they really start to see. It could be that you're glancing over at your photography gear now, and you know, something is stirring up inside of you. And if that is the case, I mean, it's not a failure. You may have simply reached the ceiling with your equipment. Your equipment simply cannot do any more for you. And I mean, that's a great invitation, because now it's your turn. It is time to turn away from pure technical practice and turn towards the true art of photography. So before I go, I just want to say that what I'm giving you today is basically advice that I have learned over time. It's my way, if you like, of doing things. I was giving this talk one day to a class, and someone stood up and said, "So Martin, if it's indeed your way, then can we call it the gospel according to Martin?" Well, the whole class laughed. We all had a laugh, but you know, in a way, I suppose it is correct. So if it works for you, take it. If it doesn't, just push it aside. But let me leave you with this. Some of my advice. Number 1, stop trying to prove how good your lenses and your camera is. Stop trying to extract every megapixel you have. I'd also advise you stop being so loyal to a camera brand, because it's not about the camera, it's about you. As long as the camera works and you are the artist behind the camera, you're in a good place. And rather turn your concentration inward to how you can create mystery and intrigue. Ask those important questions. What do I want my viewer to see? Where do I want their eye to go? What do I want them to experience? Where am I going to get their eye to rest? I encourage you, stop taking nice pictures and start making photographs that have meaning. I know this could sound like a bit of a rave, and perhaps it is, but in my teaching, I see too much of this. And I feel it's such a simple thing, but it's genuinely tragic. I feel strongly enough about this to be here and say so in public. I mean, please leave your comments below. If you agree, I'd like to hear from you. And if you disagree, I also genuinely want to hear from you. But like I've said before, if you disagree, please don't just leave a one-liner. I'll have the one-liners removed because they are of no value to anyone. Give your reasons. We learn from exchanges like this. The transcript that I spoke about earlier and the checklist are linked below. So if you found any value, please go across there and download it. And if you found value in today's discussion, please, I ask you to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. So my fellow photographic artists, go well and stay creative. Why? Because it's just good for you. Until next time, cheers everybody.